And it turns out a few people would have been okay with that. Two men came forward when Manson died, both claiming to be the killer's sons. Both of their cases were eventually dismissed. A woman who claims she's Manson's half-sister also came forward, but dropped her claim just yesterday. That leaves Jason Freeman, who claims to be the son of Charles Manson Jr. You see him there. Manson Sr. is listed on Manson Jr.'s birth certificate, and Freeman argues that's enough to put him first in line to inherit. But another man, a former pen pal of Manson's, named Michael Channels, says he has a will signed by Manson 20 years ago that gives him full control over the estate. A hearing is now scheduled for next month. And I am joined now by Michael Channels' attorney, Tim Lyons. Tim, thanks for being with us. First of all, I can't get past that your client was pen pals with Manson. How long did this go on for, and how did this end up in the way that he could be written into the will?
Yeah, it's pretty astounding, Brian. It started in about 1992 that they started corresponding. And then my client started visiting Mr. Manson in prison. And so he really was one of his only friends for the last 20, 25 years of his life.
So there were face-to-face visits. It wasn't just back and forth in letters?
Yeah, not just letters. It was hundreds of hours of visits in the state prison.
Fascinating. So what does your client want the estate for? Is this for money? Is he after money? Does he want to start a museum? I mean, in a way, looking at this from the outside, Tim, it sort of feels like a sick obsession.
No, I understand that. But actually, he was the only person who was his friend for, like I said, the last 25 years of his life. And he's trying to honor his friend's wishes. Now, the family, Mr. Freeman, had nothing to do with Mr. Manson. Mr. Manson didn't even know he existed. And so whether or not he's the grandson, which we don't believe, my client was basically Charles Manson's only family for the last amount of decades that he was in prison.
So what does he want to do with the money, though? I mean, why go after the estate like this?
Manson wanted him in charge of it. And that's important to know, is that the way that it works in this country is you don't have to leave stuff to your family. You can leave stuff to whoever you want. And I got involved in this work for a very different reason, for chosen families. And really, Michael Channels was Charles Manson's chosen family. And so he wrote him into his will because he knew he could best carry forth his legacy.
How much do you think this estate is worth? I've heard all sorts of different estimates today. Some say 400,000. I've heard upwards of $1 million. What have you learned?
Yeah, it's really challenging to value this estate, especially because of who it is. Certainly, as you say, the image rights and everything. There's also an interesting aspect having to deal with music. Charles Manson wrote a lot of music, not just for who you would think, Marilyn Manson, but actually the Beach Boys and lots of other mainstream artists. And so the value of that is what could really change over time, whether it's 400,000 or I wouldn't say the millions, but north of $1 million it could be.
I just want to go back to you saying that your client was friends with Manson for 25 years. I mean, something about this is just unsettling and makes me uncomfortable. Why did he even want to do that, knowing Manson's history?
I think it started out as just corresponding with Manson because of who Manson is. But I think once he met him, he saw a bit of humanity in him. And it is fascinating and troubling and wild, but he ultimately was just friends with him. And so he's trying to honor his friend as he wished with this will.
And Manson's grandson's lawyers have said multiple times that your client has undue influence over Manson and may have even forced him to write that will when they developed this relationship over decades. Is that true? Could that be?
They've presented no evidence of that. And that doesn't really make sense if you think of who Charles Manson is. Undue influence was more his gig rather than my client, who was his pen pal. Charles Manson got the quote Manson family to murder people. Undue influence is not going to work on Charles Manson. And my client had nothing to do with the writing of the will. He was presented with the will by Charles Manson, who wanted him to follow and carry on his legacy.
Again, I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around this. He was presented with the will by by Manson. So what, he shows up for a jail visit and Manson presents this will? How did that go down?
It was ultimately mailed to him, and it's signed by another prisoner, and it's an official prison will, which is not a thing that you come across very often. But Manson just decided he's the only one that would carry on his legacy, and so that's what he's trying to do.
An official prison will signed for by another, I'm guessing the witness is another prisoner. I mean, Tim, do you think this could stand up in court? Will it?
I do. I've actually seen no evidence that it won't. And again, in America, you can leave your stuff to whoever you want. It's important that you understand that we don't have compulsory giving stuff to your grandkids or giving stuff to your kids. And so, yes, I do think this will hold up in court. And the other side has said things like undue influence, but presented no evidence. And so I'm very confident we will prevail.
So what happens next in this fight? I mean, you've got the grandson who also is after the money and the image rights. How does this play out? I mean, is this going to be a very long, drawn-out court process? Do you have a hearing coming up?
Well, it's already been a long, drawn-out court process, but no, it should be very simple. If the will stands, and I believe it will, then my client inherits and Mr. Freeman is out. If the will doesn't stand, then and Freeman is determined to be the grandson by the court, then he will inherit.
Very interesting. I know you're just the lawyer, so I'm not going to come after you too hard, but, you know, it's very, very strange situation that your client got so close to Manson all those years. Tim Lyons, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.